Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to another Tea with JD. I'm actually going to be doing the Why I Am a Reader tag. This video I saw originally in the lovely Ria Reads channel, so I'm going to put the link below so that you can also check out her channel. Very lovely booktuber. This is kind of a quick one, and I think kind of an easy one. Sometimes these book tags are a bit intense, and at least in this occasion, something easy because it's why I am a reader, and that should be something easy to answer. So question number 1, what is one word that describes being a reader? Dreamer. I think if anything definitely unites all of us is that we're big dreamers, that we read in part to escape, to dream, to have imagination, to visit other worlds, other souls, other bodies, experience vicariously, all those things. And really, when I'm really reading like nonstop, that's when I dream the most, and that's cool. Question number 2. What is the first book I fell in love with? I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but I'll mention this again. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's the first book that I really read that I fell in love with reading. And what happens with many students is that you read what you're forced to read when you're in grade school and high school and college. Eventually you realize that you enjoy reading, but on your terms. But that's the first book that, even though it was assigned reading, I really enjoyed it. It took me, read it when I was about 11, so that took me a good 15 years to have Turkish Delight for the first time in my life. It was worth the wait. Question number 3, do I prefer hardcover or paperback? Very few hardcover. Everyone goes like, oh, hardcover is beautiful. Hardcover is beautiful, I can't say otherwise. But when you're reading, it's not that comfortable. I'm not like Bastian in the Never-Ending Story movie, and I get up and plop on the floor. Normally I'm reading laying down or sitting back, and having a really large hardcover book makes it hard. Right now I'm reading a huge hardcover version of The Lord of the Rings, which is worthy of killing someone. It has to weigh like, I don't know, at least 4 pounds. And when you have that in a book, that's huge. So I do prefer paperback simply because it's easier to read. How has reading shaped my identity? It's shaped my identity and my career path. It's enriched my life in so many ways. When you sit down and read and are able to really escape from the world and immerse yourself, when you see a great movie, you can be immersed, but it's a lot more passive. When you're reading, you're pulling the story with your eyes into your brain, so it's a lot more active, and it's a very entertaining thing, to put it lightly. It's shaped me because it's, the more I read, the more I want to read, the more I want to talk about books I read and share with people different things that I read, and try to find different types of reads and not the usual suspects. And being an indie writer, obviously, I'm influenced by reading to the point that I decided that I wanted to do the other side of that equation, and I wanted to write. It's gotten to the point where reading a fantastic book is one of the 10 most enjoyable experiences that I can enjoy in my life. I'm not going to mention the others. Some are obvious, some are cheeky. But definitely reading is a true joy. That's why I do it so much. Plus I got the glasses, and people go like, oh, he must be a reader, he has glasses. So question number 5, what do you read when you need to be comforted? Most times I do browse Harry Potter, but lately revisiting a lot of poetry because sometimes you need a quick shot, and reading an entire book from the Harry Potter franchise might take a little more than like a couple of minutes. And sometimes you just need to read that. And being an indie author, this is going to sound silly, but sometimes when you need to be comforted, you read positive reviews. People don't realize how important it is to get reviews for so many reasons, and one of the reasons is that when you're having a rough day as a writer and self-doubt is kind of saying hi, you read a review and you feel that much better. Question number 6, who taught me to be a reader? I just learned on my own. And there were always books at home, but it's not something that I was like, oh, you should, blah, blah, blah. My parents never imposed anything on me, including reading, and eventually I just gravitated towards it. My parents did help me learn how to read, and school, but something that taught me to be a reader. I think life teaches you to be a reader. People go like, oh, I hate your reading. Nah, you just haven't read something that has really shook you. I think that's the main thing about people who say that they don't enjoy reading. Not everyone's going to enjoy Shakespeare or anything, but if you try enough, you're going to find something that you love. And question number 7, what is your dream reading lounge? For my dream reading lounge, wow. Reading lounge, not other stuff lounge, because I originally, my first thought was like, oh, something on the beach. Yeah, but what if there's waves? You're not going to be reading much. So ideal reading lounge would actually be similar to what I would consider an ideal lounge to play music. I play guitar and I do my best attempt to sing. I'll put a link to one of my songs below if you're curious. But I would love it for it to be an attic. Like the attic would be the reading lounge, and the windowsill would be fully equipped to let you be like, all cuddled up. There would be a lot of natural light. They would have maybe glass paneling on the ceiling, not all of it, but just like a window, something to let light in. And there would be areas with Persian rugs and other areas with hardwood floors, finely polished hardwood floors. Why the distinction? Man, have you ever been to a place with like dingy wooden floors? It doesn't feel great on the feet. I'm talking something that if you want to read while you walk and lounge about, or if you want to lay down on the floor, sometimes you do. Something comfortable. So that, and definitely has to have a table so I can set my tea or wine if I'm in the mood. And it should have a super comfortable couch and also a lazy boy chair or a lounge chair, something, a chair like that I could use for that. And a good sound system. That doesn't have to be fantastic or cost thousands of dollars. It could be any sound system, but a good music collection, that would be more important. I do often read with headphones on, but to be able to have a lounge where I can just sit and read and have music, that would be fantastic. That would be really cool. And then on the window, where you can where you can also sit, there's a slide that leads to the garden, in case you want to go for a run. I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that is my why I am a reader tag. I actually didn't think of people to tag for this video, so I will tag everyone. I know that's a crummy thing to say. I'm actually watching several new channels, but I want to leave this one open because I have several tags that I'm going to be doing, and there I do want to give shout outs to people. So if you enjoyed this channel, by all means click the like the button, the thing with the thumb. By all means subscribe. If you find this interesting, for super interesting, by all means share it with other people. Until next time, peace, love, and maki rolls.